Welcome to Afro's Artifacts, where we do some archaeology of our own and dig into the queer side of Star Wars. I'm your host, Alia Morgaine, and it's so great to have you here. Well, today we're talking about the reunion between Jordanna and Sylvestri. So last week we talked about their early relationship and how they broke up, and this is 6 months later. Now, I do want to go ahead and say, stay listening, because I'm going to give a hashtag and a little bit extra that you can do to win my giveaway that I'm doing today. So, winner's choice, either the Inferno Squad Battle Pack Lego set or a young Jen Urso Funko Pop, complete with the cute little freckles. It's such an adorable Funko Pop. So those two things are up for grabs if you use a certain hashtag and make a certain comment, and I will get to that in just a minute. So back to what we're talking about. If you would like to know a little bit about Sylvestri and Jordanna individually, be sure and check out their individual videos from previous weeks. So upon the reading again, it says, Jordanna's gaze was locked on Sylvestri, and the girl seemed to be similarly starstruck by the sight of Jordanna, her apparent bad mood forgotten. So, the Santucket deputy said, Jordanna, voice little more than a whisper. Sylvestri had gone ashen, and her eyes looked too wide for her face. Jordanna, what are you doing here? I thought you couldn't leave Taipei, duty, and all that. And as we know from last week, the reason Jordanna did not sail into the sunset with Sylvestri was simply because she felt a sense of duty, a sense of responsibility to the people of Taipei, as she was the deputy of Taipei. But then it continues like this, with Jordanna trying to chip away at Sylvestri's hardened exterior. And Jordanna says, Remy missed you. Remy being her Volca hunting cat, very large cat. Jordanna said, her shoulders slumping. I did too. The admission sent a sharp jolt of pain shooting through Syl's chest, and just like that, she was back on Taipei. And it goes on to say that she was back in that moment when Jordanna did not come to meet them at the ship and did not sail into the sunset with her. So Syl's balancing two things. On one hand, she is trying her best to protect her heart because she doesn't want to be heartbroken all over again. On the other hand, she's having a hard time remembering anything but the good times and really wants to be back with Jordanna. So she wants to be back with Jordanna but needs to protect her heart, and she's balancing those two things throughout the book. So, as I said, the narrative says, all she wanted to do was find a cafe and snuggle with Jordanna in a corner while Remy menaced anyone who came too close. And then this is where it gets tricky for Sylvestri. Jordanna says, I was wrong. I should have left with you when you asked. Syl froze. Was this real? Was she hallucinating? This couldn't be real. For so long, she'd imagined this moment. Of course, in her daydreams, they weren't in a lift on Coruscant. They were somewhere pretty and romantic, or even on their own ship. Jordanna would sweep in with her murderous cat and freckles and apologize beautifully, swearing never to leave Syl's side again. And then they would kiss, like humans did in the Hollow Adventures, passionately, and to music. This was not that at all. And Jordanna proceeds to say she's sorry, but after she says she's sorry, she simply shrugs, which, whoo, boy, does that set Syl off. Syl froze, and every last happy, sad feeling was incinerated by the flames of her rage. Did Jordanna really think it would be that easy? That she could say sorry and it would erase months of aching and crying and looking for a tall girl with dark curls and a lopsided grin around every single corner on every planet in the galaxy? Her anger was the only thing that would keep Jordanna from breaking her heart all over again. As I said, she's trying to protect her heart. She's letting that rage build up because she knows if she's angry, she's not going to be smitten. But as I said, things continue in this way. And there's really only one logical conclusion when two people are so incredibly drawn to each other. Before I move on, the hashtag for the giveaway is hashtag queer Star Wars. And what I want you to also do is comment on who in Star Wars you find the most relatable. That can be anyone. So who in Star Wars do you find the most relatable to you personally? And the hashtag is queer Star Wars. So please, please comment down below because I need 10 entrants before I will do the giveaway. So please, please, please enter. If I have, at least 10 comments with the hashtag and with who you find most relatable in Star Wars, then I will do a drawing and see who won either the Lego set or the Funko Pop. So be sure to comment down below. So this is where Sylvestri is starting to backtrack a little bit. It says, it was too bad one of her mistakes kept giving her meaningful glances across the table. Now here she was, sitting across from the girl who had broken her heart. And here's the kicker. It was entirely too hard to remember the pain of loving her and not just the thrill. So with Jordanna in her face, with Jordanna saying all these nice things, all Sylvestri is remembering are the good times, and she's having a really hard time remembering the bad times and the pain that came along with her relationship. And this is a little cute quote. She would ignore the happy jump her heart gave when Jordanna's thigh pressed against hers. Oh, so cute. So, as hard as Sylvestri is trying, she cannot get away from the fact that she is head over heels for Jordanna. And it says here, they'd been apart no more than 6 months. And in some ways, it felt like the time had been but a heartbeat. She still felt comfortable around Jordanna, like no one else she'd ever met. Like she'd finally found the person she was meant to be with. It's so sweet. I love it so much. So, here we go with the beginning of the cuteness. Jordanna says, I've spent too much time fighting, and I realized that when I had the chance, I did not fight for the one thing I cared about. She stared at Syl, her gaze full of heat, and it was in that moment Syl realized she was blinkered. She couldn't protect her heart from Jordanna breaking it because the other girl already held it in her hands. Syl was still hopelessly in love with her. And then Jordanna says, I plan on spending the rest of this mission convincing you that you should give me another chance. So just know that's coming. Prepare to be wooed. Love it. I love that Jordanna's like, I'm going to do everything I can to show you that I care, to show you that I was wrong, and I want to be with you. And Sylvestri's like, I can't even stop my feelings anymore. I want to be with you too. But before all that, there is a little bit of contention of the word girlfriend, which is pretty funny. So the Nile attack. And when the group that is the main group throughout the book is Out of the Shadows by Justina Ireland. So the group that's together, the main group in this novel, they land at Everbloom, the Graf matriarch's estate, and the Nile attack. They attack Jordanna and the 4 Jedi with poisonous gas and stun bolts. And eventually Jordanna, Vernestra, and Comac being 2 of the Jedi, the Masters, wake up to find themselves guests of the matriarch. Jordanna is not having any of it for 1 second, which we pretty much know is how Jordanna rolls. She's very intense. She's very self-assured and confident, except of course when she starts to question whether what she's doing is the right thing, which we get into in the individual video about her. But anyway, so it says Jordanna leveled the blaster rifle at the old woman, which brings me to my most pressing issue. Where's my girlfriend? And then Master Comac says, does Sylvestri Yarrow know she's your girlfriend? Jordanna says, not yet, which is why I'd better find out where she is in the next 5 seconds. Love it. I freaking love it. She's like, she's my girlfriend and I want to save my girlfriend. And then there's sort of the opposite happens with Sylvestri. So Sylvestri is with the Padawans. She's with Emery specifically in this exchange. And the narrative goes, what was that? Syl shouted as they continued to sprint down the hallway. I don't know, Emery shouted back. But I will say that I hope it's your girlfriend and she is really, really angry. Jordanna is not my girlfriend, Syl growled. So there's still a bit of contention. But by the end of the book, they do sail away into the sunset. Jordanna and Sylvestri are together and it's beautiful and it's sweet and I love it. So remember, throwing it out again, hashtag queer Star Wars, and then who do you find most relatable in Star Wars to you personally? Could be anybody, of course. Who do you find the most relatable? And hashtag queer Star Wars to win either the Lego set or the Jen Erso Funko Pop. So we're going to end with the very ending of the novel. The narrative says, Syl turned around to see Jordanna walking down the hallway toward her, dressed in a bodysuit of black Wellesian leather. Syl blinked, and it took a moment for her brain to start thinking again after seeing Jordanna in something besides frontier homespun. Syl stood and pulled Jordanna into her arms, kissing her like she dreamed of doing for months. As Jordanna's lips met hers, everything bad in the world melted away, leaving just the pounding of her heart and the warmth of Jordanna in her arms. I want more of them so bad. Please, please, please give me more of High Republic Jordanna and Sylvestri. I want them. I want more of them so much. I want them to stay together. I want them to be a beautiful couple, continue forward, really be meant for each other. So fingers crossed we get some more of that in the future. So be sure to comment down below with the hashtag and comment that I mentioned previously so you can win either the Funko Pop or the Lego set. And be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter at AliaMorgan, and peruse my blog at thestarwarsreview.blogspot.com. May the Force be with you.